This is Bob Gutman with my fourth Political Profiles podcast, which you'll find on Political Profiles at transatlanticmagazine.com. So I'm here getting ready to teach my University of Virginia American Political Development class. In the fall, I'll be teaching Introduction to American Foreign Policy at UVA, and at Hopkins I'll be teaching the pre-primary phase and the debates of the 2020 election campaign. So I've been covering campaigns for about the last 40 years. And I must say, this latest comments by the President, Donald Trump, criticizing four congresswomen who are duly elected, just like he was elected, by their constituents. If the constituents don't like them, they can vote them out, but they've been elected. They're U.S. citizens. 3 of the 4 were born here. So like in 1984, when somebody said, "Where's the beef?" Where's the beef with the president? These are all people that may disagree with him, may have different points of view than he has. Everybody's running around saying, there was a racist comment. Of course there was a racist comment. The president has a record of that. He's trying to build up his base. It's kind of sad the president of the United States has a base that thinks it's all right to criticize women of color who are congresswomen. They're members of Congress. So right now, as we're talking, Nancy Pelosi is trying to have a vote criticizing the president. Won't have any power to it, but it'll be a straight line vote. It's so shocking how few Republicans are coming out against the president. The Republican Party is the party of Abraham Lincoln, Emancipation Proclamation, Dwight Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan, Bushes. It's just overwhelmingly, unbelievably disgusting. Not just as a political science professor, but as an American citizen. It's just shocking. I've never seen anything like that. I thought Trump has always gone to a new low. This is an all-time low, but I'm sure he'll surpass it. And he just runs around saying, "I'm having a racist bone in my body." So whatever term you use, racist or hate-filled or whatever, it's unbecoming of a president of the United States to tell congresswomen, duly elected American citizen, to go back to their home country. AOC, the congresswoman from New York, said, "I'm going to go back to my home country," which is the district where I represent in New York City. So they're all Americans, just like my grandparents came over from Russia. My father's side and my mother's side came over from Alsace-Lorraine, part of France and part of Germany. So we're all immigrants. Why the president thinks he can get away with demonizing them is just terrible. We can discuss border policy, immigration. More people were deported under Obama than have been deported under Trump. Trump loves to talk big. We're going to round up all these people, and he does nothing. He's a bully, and it's sad that this is on party lines. As Americans should say, this is just gone one step too far. If I don't like my congressman or congresswoman, I'll vote her or him out. But it's not up to the president to say these people are socialists or whatever they are. If you look back in time, there used to be a congressman named Adam Clayton Powell. He was from Harlem in New York, and he was very beloved by his constituents. So beloved that Adam Clayton Powell decided he didn't want to live in Harlem. He moved to the Bahamas, moved to an island in the Bimini, and I think for 3 elections, he got elected. And he said, if you don't like me, vote me out, but I'm staying here in Bimini. So it's up to constituents of a congressional district who they vote for. All these women may get reelected or they may get defeated, but it's not up to the president to make a racially charged comments against members of the United States Congress. We have 3 equal branches: the judiciary, the legislative, and the executive. And Trump tried to go against the Supreme Court. Finally realized that the Supreme Court has supreme in its name, so it is the Supreme Court of the land. And he was talked out of putting a census. Are you an American citizen? But he'll try to get around it. So, as I said, as I talk now, get ready for my class. The House is voting. They're having parliamentary procedure. I was reading the parliamentary procedures they're using. are from the founder of UVA, our third president, Thomas Jefferson, using his parliamentary procedures. So there's going to be a lot of parliamentary talk. You can't say certain things against a president. You can't say certain things against other members. We need to have civil dialogue. It's just outrageous. President's consular to the president today, Kellyanne Conway, asked a member of the press what his ethnicity was. At the same time, her husband was writing an op-ed piece for the Washington Post saying the president's a racist. So they must have interesting talks at their dinner table. He's writing one thing against the president, and she has her job working for the president. So anyway, politics is strange. Anyway, I think the president should be condemned in the harshest terms possible. I think Congress should censor him. People want to impeach him. I mean, being Donald Trump's a high crime and misdemeanor. He's a disgusting human being, and he's a disgrace to be president of the United States. My wife's a Republican, can't stand him. All our friends we're with know that he's a disgrace. But he's got a base of about 39–40%, and he's going to stir up the base. I can't believe all his supporters go along with this. He has a lot of, regular Americans living in the suburbs, living in the small towns like I'm from in Indiana, who support him, who like a strong economy. But I can't believe you're allowed to like a president. You can still condemn him if he goes across the line. And I think for all the Trump people and everybody else, they should condemn the president. So that's where we are. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we have the next debates. We now have Tom Steyer has gotten in the race. He's a billionaire who's running ads on TV. He's not going anywhere. De Blasio, the mayor of New York, was in Iowa when the electricity went off in Midtown New York. That's a sure way not to get reelected as mayor of New York. So here's the mayor of New York and Iowa saying, well, I'll see what the conditions are if I need to take a plane back. So, I mean, de Blasio should get out of the race and try to keep the electricity on in New York. Some of these other people, there was an article in the Washington Post magazine about Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. Says she's perfectly acceptable. She's a centrist. She's never lost an election. Read the article, I think makes sense. But everybody's looking for somebody that has some kind of controversy about them. I don't know. I think Biden is still doing well in the lead. I think the surprise candidate, in my view, is Elizabeth Warren, who I think actually could get the nomination down the road. I think Bernie Sanders is old news now. I think he's fading. And I think Kamala Harris didn't really go up that much by her angry comments against Biden. So I think it's a Biden-Warren race. I think Kirsten Gillibrand's not out of it. I think Cory Booker not out of it. I think this governor of Montana, Bullock, might show some staying power. Anyway, people, the CNN and everybody the other night said, oh, it's down to 4 people: Biden, Sanders, Warren, and Kamala Harris. We have 23 people in the race, so I don't think you can say at this point it's down to 4 people. Other people are raising money. Mayor Pete out in Indiana has raised a lot of money. He's very low in the polls. So anyway, it's going to go up and down. It's summertime now. People aren't paying that much attention. People will watch the debates, then go on vacation, then come back in the fall, and we'll get more serious about the fall debates. So it's still a very fluid situation. What the Democrats have to realize, name of the game is beat Trump. 4 more years of this con artist, chaotic. I call him a chaotic con artist. It's chaos every day. I mean, even people who are chaotic and you like day off every so often. Every day it's like Trump wakes up, tries to think how he can cause chaos and get his name. I mean, he doesn't care if his name gets in the news, good or bad. He just likes his name in the news. So that's it. America's being disgraced around the world by Trump's terrible comments. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Like I said, I've been covering politics for 40 years, and I like to see the Republican Party have some guts and say this is just unacceptable. What are they scared of? They're scared of the main thing in politics, getting defeated. So they all think, well, we're right of center, but if we don't support Trump, we'll be primaried. We'll have a primary challenger for somebody even worse. Just example, Senator Lindsey Graham, they had his comments against Trump being a racist bully back when he was running in 2015-16. Now, I guess Lindsey Graham really likes playing golf with Trump, and so he's now has become his little puppy dog, saying how great it is, and ridiculously, Senator Graham, who knows better. It's too bad John McCain, his friend, is not still alive. He would be speaking out against the president, how inappropriate this is. But Senator Graham is talking about these women, congresswomen, are communists. Really? Members of the U.S. Congress are communists? I don't think so. These women ran for Congress. They want to make America better. They may not be your views or my views, but they're in Congress. They took the chance. They got in the field, as Teddy Roosevelt said. They got in the, they got in the field. They did it. They put their names up and they won. So let's all try to be a bit civil, a bit more civil. Obviously, the president is not going to change, so the only way to get the president changed is to get him out of office. Somebody said they'd vote for an automobile or Mickey Mouse if they were running. I think, people who are independents are going to decide the election. Trump's got his base at 38, 39%. If they go to the polls, he only needs a few other percentage to put him over the top. So at this point of handicapping the race in the summer of 2019, with the economy going strong, I'd say it's Trump's to lose. But he sure tries every day as hard as he can to lose it. He just does one odd thing after another. If he'd go on vacation for the summer, he'd be in better shape and the country would be in better shape. So that's my closing line. Go on vacation, Donald Trump. Just go see all your golf courses. Go to the British Open this week. Get out of town. We don't need you here. The country's better off without you here. And then when you lose, you can go back to Trump Tower and play golf. And then speaking of this, not to be cruel, but as a person who studies the presidency and has taught American politics for the last 15 years, watching Trump coming out of the White House, without a shirt and tie on, I have to say the person that he looked like the most was William Howard Taft. And that's not really a compliment. William Howard Taft was, our 300-pound president. So Trump, instead of tweeting and being racist in your comments to congresswomen, you might think about going on a diet and, getting in shape and try to show America that we can be in shape and decent people. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go teach my class now. If you enjoy my podcast, send me an email at rguttman@jhu.edu, and I'd like to hear from you. And I'll be back in touch next time. Probably the next bad thing that Trump does to go again. Trump, he should go back to where he's from. He should go back to New York. He's the most anti-American president I think we've ever had. And it's really weird to say a president's anti-American. But Trump, if somebody stuck the Constitution in front of him, wouldn't know what it was. And would say, that's special. Anyway, that's it. I could go on and on, but it's kind of depressing talking about Trump. So let's talk about more fun things. It was a good tennis match. Roger Federer, even in losing to Djokovic, it was probably the greatest tennis match of all time. Watching Federer and Djokovic go to 12 tie breaks. So congratulations, Djokovic. Congratulations, Federer. Let's concentrate on tennis and now watch the British Open this week and try to forget our uncivil politics. This is Bob Gutman with Political Profiles saying, see you next week. Bye.